Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We've got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. They always have been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we've got an extremely exciting report to bring to you, and that is that Bitcoin has now hit $99,560. As somebody who's been working in the crypto space for almost 7.5 years now, who got into cryptocurrency when Bitcoin was trading at below $3,000, I'm so excited to bring this to you because I've seen this coming. I think a lot of us have. We've always known someday out in the future, Bitcoin, it was going to go to 100K. I think we all knew intrinsically, instinctively, that one day Bitcoin would get here. But we didn't know when. We didn't know if it would be in 2030. We didn't know if it'd be in 2020. We didn't know if it'd be in 2040. We didn't know if it'd be in 3000. We had no idea exactly when it would be, but now we're here. And history's being made. Bitcoin hasn't directly hit $100,000, just as we predicted in the last couple of days worth of videos. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Bitcoin to get exactly to $100,000. We keep setting all-time highs at 95, then 97, then 99,560, right? It's going to be a little bit difficult to get there to $100,000 because as you get closer to $100,000, the incentive to go into a short sale increases, which, as we know, a short sale begins with the activation of the trade where you sell the position so you can cover it later. And you also have people that are taking profits because there's a lot of FUD that you're not going to be able to break through $100,000. I'm here to tell you that I think we are. I think we're going to break through 100K. In fact, I think we're going to see that happen relatively soon. And a big part of the reason for that is because the altcoins are coming in hot too. We've got massive rallies going on the altcoins. Ethereum is at one of the highest levels that it's been at in a very long time. Solana is hitting new all-time highs, above $260. We've got major rallies going on XRP, which is now approaching $1.50. Not quite there yet, but it's getting there. We've got huge gains going on the space over, which leads us to the conclusion that, hey, look, Bitcoin may just have too much momentum to really be stopped fully by $100,000. And so today, we're going to talk about whether or not Bitcoin is about to rally up toward, hit, and then break through $100,000, and if that bull market will continue even higher. Newsflash, I think it will, but today we're going to be analyzing kind of both arguments about where Bitcoin's going, why Bitcoin is going to do what it's going to do, and most importantly, as always, we're going to be talking about how we can best prepare ourselves for that movement so that we are able to make as much money in this market as possible. Welcome to the stream. If you are new here, my name is Jeb. I love teaching you guys about technical analysis, about financial concepts, about how to get out of debt, how to budget, but most importantly in this case, about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and investment. So let's talk about that. Joe Bollier's in chat today, said, "Good morning, Jeb." Chris is in chat, Brian's in chat, Jerry's in chat, Christina's in chat, Defla's in chat, Christopher Ryan's in chat, Tim's in chat, Tim Nordskog is in chat, Andy C, Blasnik, Philly Skills 1428, Pew Pew Poom 2, said Solana new all-time high. That's right. Coin Operator said Bitcoin gaining strength for the final siege of $100,000. We are approaching 100K very quickly, which is a good sign. Jesse and Crypto's in chat said, "What up? XRP is being talked about on Fox News by Ripple." Yeah, a lot of mainstream attention going on right now, as is appropriate. Really appreciate all of you guys for being here. Fit in Crypto's in chat. Good to see you. Let's see. Bjorn BCY's in chat. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's dive right on into it. Oh, man. What a good day. What a good day. Let's just take a few minutes here to just bask in how wonderful of a day this is. You know, I want us to just think for a second about all this poor, sad naysayers. Think about them. Think about them for a second and pity them. The fact that they laughed at you when Bitcoin was at $15,000. They laughed at you when Bitcoin was it $4,000. They laughed at you when Bitcoin dropped down to $4,500. They laughed. They laughed at you. And although I don't want you to be bitter against them, I do want us to have a moment of silence for the naysayers. I want us to take a moment of silence for the ones that got left behind. It is very sad. We try not to leave anyone behind. We try and tell as many people about Bitcoin as we possibly can, but we just aren't able to do it. We just aren't able to get them all there. And one of those CEOs that got left behind was actually, let's see, I can't remember what was the company. There's a big company that the CEO got left behind. Oh my goodness, I forgot the name. But anyway, it's one of the biggest financial companies in USA. One of the big ones. It's the incoming, was it Goldman Sachs? No, it's Charles Schwab's new CEO. Let me find this post. Should have had this up. Yeah. This guy, Rick Wurster, I think it was, said that, he hates to say it, but he basically got left behind in the cryptocurrency, in the Bitcoin rally, because that's happened a lot. A lot of people have just been completely left behind. And here's another one. Jim Cramer. All I can tell you is own Bitcoin. That's a winner. Yeah. So, when Jim Cramer gets on board, then you know that it's mainstream, because unless it's absolutely mainstream, he's not going to do anything about it. And so I just want us to have a moment of silence for everyone who got left behind. All right, that moment's long enough. Let's go ahead and have some fun. Bitcoin rallied all the way up to $99,560 here at about 2 a.m. this morning, because all the best rallies happen at 2 a.m. when nobody's awake. They're over there partying it up in Europe. Morning over there, it's 8 a.m. They're all having their fun, and we're over here sleeping across the pond. Across the pond, we're getting our little nap, and they're over there having fun without us. Thanks, Britain. Either way, we now have a bit of a corrective movement here. Not something that we ought to be concerned about. Bitcoin has needed a corrective movement. This is a healthy part of the process. Bitcoin has been going through an enormous rally as of late, and so I think it's a great thing that Bitcoin's taking a bit of a breather. But it's funny that breather is sitting right here on top of this uptrending level of support. Bitcoin is having a bounce right now above that uptrending level of support. And we can even see here on Lux Algo, if you've not already checked this out, you can see on Lux Algo here, we've got a buy signal coming in. Phenomenal. We love to see this buy signal. If Bitcoin is able to rally just a few $100s higher, then we will end up seeing a confirmation on that buy signal. You see, the cool thing is we saw the sell signal come in here, trend catcher turned red. And then we actually had our take profit on the short trade right there. That little X came in. Incredible position for a take profit. We had the entry right there, and the exit right there is what Lux Algo was telling us. This would have been a nice little short trade that you could have taken. Obviously, betting against this market, not the best call. But even as such, Lux Algo was able to give you the one good short trade that we've seen in the last little while. There aren't many right now, but Lux Algo got that one. And so if we see this trend catcher turn green, then that means we will be getting a long signal down here on the 15-minute chart, which is very exciting. Down here on the 5-minute chart, we actually have a confirmed buy signal coming in now as well. Lux Algo gave us a few great sell side predictions here over the last little while. You saw that we saw the sell order come in here at the all-time high, 99.5. In fact, we saw the take profit on the buy order. Remember, we had a buy signal right here, back here on Thursday. We saw this X right there at the exact top. Perfectly called the top. Lux Algo absolutely nailing it, as always. And then we saw that sell signal come in with trend catcher red. We saw this big protracted corrective movement here, about a 1% drop, $1,000 movement here in the span of about 2 to 3 hours. Then we saw the buy signal come in here, rally, take profit. Sell signal came in. We saw that push us all the way to the downside. These buy and sell signals are absolutely beautiful down here on the shorter term time frames. And now we have a buy signal here on the 5-minute chart that was confirmed. So this immediately confirmed at 10:10. So that's about 15 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. And so that's giving us this next bounce. And that makes sense, because down here on our 5-minute chart, you can very clearly see the divergences. RSI actually prints it here. You see there's a bullish divergence. You can see the downtrending level of support here on the lows, the uptrending level of support there on the actual RSI itself. And you can also see the uptrending levels of support here on the crypto Jeb oscillator that you can get by going to luxalgo.com/Jeb. When you take a look at Lux Algo's and our own crypto Jeb oscillator, you can see that there are those divergences there as well. And so that is showing that there's some strength behind this buy signal. It's not just a buy signal because we bounced. That buy signal, it has some strength because of that bullish divergence. And so on the 15-minute chart right now, we'd be looking to see if we can get high enough to have the trend catcher turn green once again. If so, then that would likely lead Bitcoin back up towards $99,000, and that means in the next few hours we may be seeing another test towards $100,000. This small rally that we're seeing right now on the 5 to 15-minute chart is actually possibly one of the first movements that is going to lead Bitcoin back up to its current all-time high and for another test of 100K, which makes sense because we are currently in this big ascending triangle pattern moving up towards $100,000. Very strong higher highs, absolutely eating away at those levels of resistance up there. And then we've also, of course, got here the market actually rallying right now, bouncing off that uptrending level of support, indicating that we are increasing the pressure on that wall at $100,000. Over the course of this week, we've talked extensively about how $100,000 is like a bastion city wall. And as you get closer to it, it gets more and more difficult because you've got the archers up on the wall, you've got the cannons, you've got the trebuchets. We are combining several eras of warfare history here, but you've got all these defenses at $100,000 by analogy that are making it difficult for Bitcoin to stay up here. But even as we've approached $100,000, we haven't just shot to $100,000 and then we're kind of putting a downtrend. No, actually, we've had a very consistent, strong, powerful uptrend towards $100,000, which increases my confidence that we may actually be able to break it this time. It's possible. Does it make sense necessarily from the fact that Bitcoin's added almost $2/3 of $1 trillion in market capitalization in just the last few weeks? Not really. I mean, there's a lot of value coming in, but what does make sense is that $100,000 will be breached at some point, so why not now, since there's already so much exuberance going on right now? If you've not already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and here's the fact of the matter. Bitcoin is extraordinarily bullish right now, and if you want to be a part of this project for the long term, consider following the financial sovereignty way. That includes investing in the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. It's very important that you make investments. You want a bigger investment portfolio, yes? Right? Well, there's one way that you get it. You buy it. You see, we are a channel of common sense. I'm not here to sell you some silver shovel. I'm not here to sell you some silver bullet or some silver anything. I'm here to sell you not silver, not gold, but Bitcoin. And here's the idea. If you want money, then there's one way to do it. Let's just think about this for a second. If you want money, there's one way to do it. And that's to earn the money. And then if you want an investment portfolio, there's one way to get that. And that is to buy it. I guess there's another way you could inherit it, but there's one main way to get an investment portfolio, and that's to purchase it. There's a lot of you guys sitting on the sidelines right now thinking to yourself, I'm just going to wait for the right time to get into the market. Let me tell you something. We very well may see Bitcoin go lower than this. In fact, we probably will during the bear market. It's possible that Bitcoin dips below 100K during the bear market. It's also possible Bitcoin rockets to 300K and everybody that didn't get in right now gets left behind. Here's something that people do in the housing market all the time. I'm just waiting for the market to correct. Well, you know, in the housing market, it's corrected exactly twice for greater than 24 months in, 125 years. Now, on Bitcoin, obviously, there are corrections that happen more frequently than that. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to build long-term investments in Bitcoin, just get some. I don't care where the market is. It's always a buy for me because my Bitcoin I hold for at least 5 to 7 years. I know people that are, I know people that are investing in the cryptocurrency space and they're trying to sell the market in the next 6 months. If you're buying Bitcoin right now to sell in the next 6 months, I wouldn't buy it because it's already rallied so much. It could be lower in 6 months than it is right now. But if you invest in Bitcoin for the long term, it's going to rally in the future. That's what I believe anyway. That's what I've always had reason to believe, is that it's going to perform well if you give it 5 to 7 years. Now, that might seem like a long time, but guess what? If you want to be an investor, then invest for the long term or don't invest at all. You can't call yourself an investor if you're buying it and you're going to sell it in 4 months. It's not an investment. That's a trade. Remember, trading is for traders. If you're not a trader, then be careful with trading. You can trade, but don't bet your whole life savings on it, right? And it's good to get some practice, but the point is if you're investing, invest for the long term. Let's read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to keep it moving here. Still have the flu or a cold or whatever, so trying to hold my voice together here. But luckily, I've got probably 15,000 hours here on the microphone doing this kind of content, so my voice is pretty resilient at this point. White noise, Josh, sleep, focus, calm, and meditate. Those are all great things to do. Said it was unreal waking up being a millionaire this morning. Boom. Roll Hendricks said, this man talked us all into building a position in Bitcoin. Give this man his deserved like and subscription. Thank you so much, Roll Hendricks. I have been talking people into buying Bitcoin for nearly a decade. I remember when I founded the channel, and the channel had, you guessed it, not one, two, not two, 3 subscribers. I remember when the channel had 3 subscribers, and I was 2 of them. One of you suckers were out there watching my crappy content back in 2017. And I walked up to somebody and I said, I'm going to build a cryptocurrency channel and teach people about Bitcoin, because one day when Bitcoin hits $100,000, I'm going to be there to teach them about it, and I will have been there for years. That was 7 years ago. Plant some seeds that you're going to harvest in 5 to 7 years. I am so glad that I planted the seed of this channel in the ground 7 years ago. Now look at what it's become. You can do that too. You can do it also. You're capable of that. You have the ability to do that. You have this incredible thing called being made in the image of God, which means you can go and create stuff. Plant some seeds in the ground. Give them longer than you want to. And guess what? Sometimes for a year or two, they're not going to do very well. Give them 5 to 7 years to weed out luck, to weed out seasons, to weed out the droughts, to weed out all that nonsense. Give it enough time, and you're going to be fine. Do the right thing for long enough, and you're going to be in good shape. I'm so glad that there's 3,000 videos on this channel. I put the elbow grease in to invest in this channel, and you can put the elbow grease in to invest in a portfolio. Jeb, Bitcoin might drop down to $50,000, $60,000. I don't think it's going to go that low, but it could. Could it? Totally. Totally. Retail still isn't even fully here yet. They're starting to come online the last week, but they're still not fully here yet. Bitcoin will have a bear market, probably. But I tell you what, I bet my entire portfolio on this. In 7 years, Bitcoin will be worth more than it is today. I would bet every single sat I have on that. In 7 years, Bitcoin will be worth more than it has today. So give it enough time, plant some seeds in the ground, let that thing fall over there because I'm banging around, right? And then make sure that you enjoy the fruit of your labor when you get to the top. All right, let's read a little bit of chat. We're going to get back onto the charts here. Saul Arredondo said, congrats to the new millionaire. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. They said my XRP did it. Boom. Boom. Love to see it. Schmedley B said, better late than never. Hey, Jeb, good to see you. One day, so proud to understand Bitcoin below $100,000. I want you to understand something, guys. I get to say with pride that I was in Bitcoin below $3,000. One day, because because you are here today, you're going to get to say that you were in Bitcoin below 100K. You know, one day we're going to be the old folks, right? We're going to be the old folks that say, I remember back in my day when COVID made everybody stay at home and hoard toilet paper, right? One day we're going to be able to say to the youngsters, the whippersnappers out there, I remember when the world shut down. One day you're going to be able to say to your kids and your kids' kids, I remember when Bitcoin was below 100K. You know, all those old people that are about 60 plus, you know, you're not that old, but you're getting there, right? You're like, I remember the day before the internet. I don't. I don't. I remember when televisions were this wide, but I don't remember a time before the internet. You know what I mean? But one day you're going to be able to say, I remember when Bitcoin was below 100K. And that Jeb guy, he was telling me to buy it the whole way up, and I didn't listen to him, or you did, and you're glad you did. One day you're going to look back and you're saying, these were the days, right? Who knows that song? By, what's his name? Owl City. Those were the days, right? He's like, McDonald's fries and slip and slides. Those were the best. What happens next? You know that song? That they're going to write a song about this time right now. Last 5 years or so. So let's continue. Now that we've kind of got the emotional side of it out of the way, which is really important. By the way, everything we're talking about, Jeb, you're rambling. We're here for TA. Wait a second. You know why most people fail in finance? Because it's all numbers to them. We've got to get this thing right. Money's not about the money. It's about you. It's about me. It's about the people that we can bless with it. This is about human beings, not about digits on a screen. Bitcoin's not about Bitcoin. It's about people, man. We've got to understand the mentality, the emotions of this. And I want you to be able to feel the blessings of the work you've done. I've been working in this space for 7 years. I got to stop and smell the roses sometime. Like, man, I just want to keep going. But I look back, I'm like, wow, man. The decisions I've made, I'm so grateful for that. The soundboard you're listening to me on, right? This one over here, right? I can do that. That soundboard over there, let's see what this button does. I don't know. Oh, there we go. That's exactly what you guys are thinking right now. This soundboard over here, I bought that 5 years ago. This microphone, 5 years ago. I planted a seed in the ground. Now we're here. How do I turn that off? There we go. You know, we plant seeds in the ground. We've got to actually be able to viscerally enjoy it. You've got to be able to feel it. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Can we celebrate a little bit? Bitcoin did it. We always believed that it could hit 100K. And we're $400 off. But in the grand scheme of things, we did it. More or less, we hit 100K. That's awesome. Good job. But let's not stop, because there's more to go. All right, I'm going to read one chat, and then we're going to continue moving here. Jeb, isn't that good? Isn't being in debt better than paying tax? Better to hold your money in escrow, according to Robert Kiyosaki. Here's what I know. 2 things on that. Number 1, my Bible tells me in Romans 13:8, owe no one anything except what? Love, not money, love. The only thing that I want to be in debt to anyone else is love. What does love mean? It means kindness, it means forgiveness, it means patience, it means joy. What is love? 1 Corinthians 13, my daughter's named after it. Her name's Charity. In King James, it doesn't say love, it says charity. It's the same word. Love is patient and kind. It is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It is not irritable. It does not demand its own way. It is not quick to anger. It is slow, is slow to be irritable. We should only owe each other love. That's what my Bible says, and I do what my Bible says because I surrendered my life to Christ. If I want to go and make up my own rules, then is my life surrendered to Christ? I don't know. That's a good question. Second thing, though, and the reason that I believe that that's the case is that when you borrow money from somebody, you place yourself in slavery to them. I know Robert Kiyosaki is in like $1 billion of debt or something crazy. I mean, he's got a ton of debt, and he's done very well for himself. But guess what? That house is built on a house of cards, and it comes with stress. And it also comes with the fact that he's having to pay a huge amount of money on the interest on that. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm not looking to build something flashy. I'm looking to slow down so I can speed up. The Marines say it like this: slow is smooth is fast. It's slower to build a business without debt. But you end up going way faster in the long run because you actually allow yourself to go parabolic rather than being stuck doing linear growth because you have to pay so much money in interest. Can you grow with that? Yes. Is it the way that is going to be blessed by God? No. Have nations grown throughout history without a blessing from God? Yes, but did they ever last? One time. Think of one nation in the history of mankind that grew without God's blessing. Did it last? No. I need God's blessing if I'm going to have this thing succeed because this is his ministry. I run this business as a disciple of the living God of Jesus Christ. He teaches me not to have debt, so I'm not going to do it. Even if I say, hey, look, there's a shortcut. I can take out some debt. I can do this. I could totally do that. We could blow this thing up 10x maybe in the next year if I took, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to grow at the rate of cash. And guess what? We're going to be a lot bigger in the long run. And more importantly, we're going to have God's favor. And that's what I need if this thing's going to succeed. So that's what I will teach you on that. Let's see, Jeb, but doesn't the Bible also say, obey the rules of the land, and the rules of the land are that you can be in debt? The rules of the land are that you can be in debt, but if I go into a country and the country allows me to murder somebody, does that mean I'm going to go and murder them? No. What the book of Acts says when, who was it? Stephen and I forgot who it was. They were brought before Sanhedrin, which was the religious governing body at the time in Israel. And they told them to stop preaching about the Lord Jesus Christ. That what they said in response, they said, whether we should obey you or God, you decide. But we know what we're going to do. We're going to obey God. That's what they said. And that's what I'm going to do. Whether I should, if somebody walks up here and commands me with a gun and says, you go into debt or I'm going to kill you, I'm going to say no. Because I don't believe that that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't have conviction and confidence that that's what I'm going to do. And God can stop that bullet. I'm not worried about that because I serve a living God and he told me to stay out of debt. I don't think it's sin to go into debt. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're going to hell if you're in debt. I'm not saying that at all. But I do believe that the Bible teaches that it's foolishness. The borrower is slave to the lender and the rich rules over the poor. Proverbs 22:7, I think it is, right? It equates the poor person with the debtor and the rich person with the person loaning the money. Robert Kiyosaki may have $1 billion in debt and several $100 million net worth, but guess what? The banks he's borrowing from are worth $100 billion. So what gives? Right? You can break the rule and kind of get away with it sometime, but not for long. So that's where I am. That's where I stand on that, on the debt side of things. I do believe that you're building on a bad foundation. Jesus teaches that we need to build on a solid rock foundation. And when you build a house on a foundation of debt, what you've done is you've allowed termites to come in, and you've allowed them to eat the wood, and you use the termite infested wood to build the bottom layer of the house because it's cheaper wood. Oh well, it's easier to build it this way. Yeah, it's going to fall down in 10 years. because either one, later on, you're going to have to go in and replace the boards, which costs money, or two, the whole thing's going to collapse in on itself. So I don't build things on debt. I've always bootstrapped everything that I've ever built in my entire life. I have gone into debt a few times. I've regretted it every single time, and we've now cleared it. Just as Kat said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. The only debt we have is our mortgage, and we're working on paying that off as quickly as we possibly could. We could actually probably just cut it now if we wanted to, but we're working on paying all of that off. So that's, full disclosure, that's where we are. We have zero debt other than our mortgage that we're working on paying off because we're working on the FinSov way. We're in step 7, 8, and 9 of the FinSov way. Investing for retirement, paying off our house, making extra investments in wealth generation. That's what we do. All right. That's our stance. That's what I believe. Love to hear your opinions on that. James Grover donated $20, said, "Bless you, Jeb. Been with you 4 years now. It's still the only crypto faith-based strategy and show. Q, what is your timeline for Bitcoin top and realistic process range?" I believe you probably meant price range. Here's where I think that Bitcoin is going to go, because that's a great transitionary question to get us back into the charts. Where I think that Bitcoin is likely going to be heading, and it's also very interesting to me that on the 15-minute chart we still haven't seen green trend catcher from Lux Algo, but it'll probably come in soon. Ooh, that's a good sign. We just saw this this reversal range flip down. It looks like if Bitcoin can break 99K, excuse me, sorry about that, then we'll likely see a confirmed buy signal here on the 15-minute chart. But if Bitcoin breaks $100,000, which I do think is likely at this point, you can just plainly see the parabolic nature of this movement. I mean, can't you, right? It's just beautiful, beautiful. If we break $100,000, so let's talk about where we're going this bull market, right? I think that we're going to between our price target has been between $125,000 to $150,000 in the last week in the first week of the last month of 2025. So first week of December 2025, about a year from now. That is based on the way that Bitcoin has performed post-election every single time. We have now seen 4 elections transpire during the history of Bitcoin, right? We had the 2012 election with the re-election of President Barack Obama. We had the 2016 election with the election of the first election of President Donald Trump. Then in 2020, we saw the presidential election of President Joe Biden, and then we saw the re-election of President Donald Trump just a few weeks ago. And those are the elections that we've seen. And in history, what we see is that any time that you see an election in the United States, the all-time high happens exactly between 360 and 400 days later. So, for example, we saw the 2012 election, the campaign between Mitt Romney and President Barack Obama. The election happened, I think, on the 6th of November. That's the Monday. That's close enough. We can see that the all-time high was hit pretty much exactly. Excuse me, that's not the all-time high. That's the all-time high. We saw the all-time high was hit basically exactly 385 days later. It was a 6,255% rally from that point to that point, $18.53 to $1,100. Now we move $100,000 in 5 minutes, and people don't even bat an eye. Then you move on to 2016, November the 8th. Everybody remembers November the 8th, right? And we saw after that election, the market went parabolic after the election. We saw a rally here that lasted approximately 399 days, right? Bitcoin would rally 2,282% from $825 to $19,655. Then moving on here to 2020, we see that the election happened here on November the 3rd, the first Tuesday, right? That's when the election occurs. First Tuesday. We would see Bitcoin rally for 371 days, and that rally would take us into the all-time high with a 416% movement. You can see the vast majority of the bullishness that occurred in this bull cycle occurred after the election. And so it stands to reason that we would see the same thing happen here. And it also makes sense because that's what we're actually seeing right now. People are realizing that this cycle happens, right? Every time, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Every time that we see the election take place, we within just a little while have a pretty big rally right here. Moving forward, we see this rally right here, which was the rally that I actually got into the space on. It lasted about 6 months. Then here, it started happening even faster. Right after the election, we just went parabolic, and that seems to be what we're doing this time. After the election, we just go parabolic, which is why I have this conclusion that $100,000 could actually be broken relatively soon. And if Bitcoin does break $100,000 relatively soon, then that would lead Bitcoin, honestly, into blue sky breakout territory. And I'm going to give you 2 reasons why that's the case. And this is kind of the point of today's stream. The 2 reasons why Bitcoin may just go into blue sky breakout territory after $100,000, answering that question, right? I'm getting there. The two reasons why Bitcoin may just go into absolute blue sky breakout territory are as follows. Number one, the altcoins. The altcoins are actually starting to run now. They have not gained dominance on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has maintained its market dominance, and if anything, it's actually continued to manage to grow its market dominance from 57.3% 1 month ago to 59.7% right now. In fact, we breached 60% market dominance just on Wednesday. But the altcoins are moving. They're not getting left behind that fast. XRP is up 30% today. 65% over the last 7 days. Cardano is up 18% today, up 40% over the last 7 days. Solana up 4% today, up 23% over the last 7 days. It had a big rally about a week ago. These altcoins are moving, and what's happening is people are not just now excited about Bitcoin, they're also now excited about the altcoins as of the last week and a half or so. And that's led total market capitalization to skyrocket. We were trying to get above $3 trillion, and once we did, all hell broke loose. And we saw a massive rally on total market cap. Total market cap has now hit a peak of 3.3 trillion. That means we've seen $300 billion of market capitalization created in just a couple of weeks. And almost 40% of that has come from the altcoins. And so that shows us that the altcoin engine is now beginning. The altcoins have not taken over Bitcoin, but they're right there, ready to come in to save the day if Bitcoin does go into a correction. If Bitcoin does drop and just smack its head on 100K, get a big old owie and has got to go to the emergency room, right? If that's what happens, the altcoins are going to be there to save the day because there's so many more gains to be had in the altcoins than in Bitcoin. They are massively undervalued compared to the last compared to where Bitcoin is, right? And then there's also the other consideration that we've got to look at the retail, at the investment, right? And so what we're seeing with the investment in cryptocurrency right now is that the huge amount of people that are buying Bitcoin is obvious, right? We've got $1 billion of inflows yesterday in the ETFs. The assets under management on BlackRock are now over $30 billion. $30 billion of assets under management, AUM, on just BlackRock's I Bet ETF. You can see the amount of money here in these ETFs is enormous. In fact, the Bitcoin ETFs are some of the most successful exchange-traded funds in the history of mankind in their first year. And that is because, and I will say this, I will shout this from the rooftops until my last dying breath, the reason that Bitcoin is succeeding so much is because it fulfills the first law of money better than any other piece of technology in the history of mankind, which is to be financially sovereign. You never thought about it that way, but the reason it's succeeding is because it fulfills a biblical command given to mankind. God said, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, and what? And subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. We are commanded in the first great commandment given to mankind to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, get married, have fun, have babies, build a society, etc., right? And then use that society to subdue the earth. What does that mean? That means have control over the earth. Here's what's happened, though. We've given away all our authority to tyrants that we call politicians. Bitcoin brings the control of the money right back to us. It is the best piece of technology to instill financial sovereignty into our financial system that has ever been devised, made possible by modern cryptography and the internet. That was never possible before. Bitcoin did it. And so because Bitcoin is the technological manifestation of the first law of money, which is financial sovereignty, or at least one manifestation of the first law of money, which is financial sovereignty, which is biblical, it has blessing. And it has exploded for that reason. And so that is why it has become one of the best adopted ETFs in the history of the world. And so will Bitcoin hit $100,000? Likely. In fact, it may even happen while we're live here. Wouldn't be surprised at all if it did. For a reason I'll get to in a minute, because there's actually a third reason I need to mention. But the first reason is the altcoins are purring. The second reason is Bitcoin is now being understood in a way that was never understood before. Incoming CEO at Charles Schwab says, I feel silly for not buying Bitcoin. That's a direct quote. And last but not least, we've also got another story here, which is Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler is going to be stepping down, right? We already knew that this was going to happen because we know that We know that when a new president comes in, it is customary for the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission to resign. They're not actually fired. It's just customary for them to resign. It's one of those things up in government that's, we're kind of dealing with almost like a monarchy, right? When a new king comes in, then there are certain things that you're expected to do that are proper. And one of those things is the Securities and Exchange Commission chairman steps down. Gary Gensler knows that if he doesn't step down, that he would be removed. Now, Gary Gensler is not going to leave office until Trump takes office. You can see Wall Street Journal reporting on that. But he is slated to step down on January 20th, which is Inauguration Day. So we've only got another 2 months of GG in chat before it's GG. Good game, Gary Gensler. You lost. I'm not saying we got to go do a victory lap and just dunk on the guy. I feel bad for him. I mean, it just didn't work. You tried to stop it and you failed. Right? You tried to stop Bitcoin. You tried to stop XRP. You tried to stop the exchanges. You tried to stop Coinbase. You tried to stop Binance. You tried to be the countercultural movement against cryptocurrency, and you lost. I am not saying that there should not be regulation in the cryptocurrency space. There should be. In fact, the regulation that is entered into the cryptocurrency space is part of the reason why it's growing so much, and that's a good thing. In large part, regulation most times oversteps, but we need some, right? But Gary Gensler stepping down is another feather in the cap of the cryptocurrency market. And so when Bitcoin hits $100,000, which I do now believe is an if, which I do now believe is a win, not an if, there's a very high likelihood that it's going to break through. So now back to the original question. What's the timeline? What's the all-time high? I am expecting that the all-time high will be hit sometime before the end of 2025. And I expect that all-time high will be at very minimum $125,000. Potentially as high as $150,000. On the stretch, it could be as high as $200,000. I know that sounds crazy, but it does kind of match up. We've got an enormous rally that happened after the election here in November the 3rd, 2020, right? Bitcoin market rallied 417%. We added over $1 trillion in market capitalization, $2 trillion across the total market caps. If we look here from when we had the election of President Donald Trump, on the 5th, earlier this month, then a rally of 417%, which I don't expect, but a rally of 417% would bring Bitcoin up to, let's see here, we got to kind of zoom out into the stratosphere to get an idea of this. That would bring Bitcoin up to $360,000 before January of 26, within the next 13 months or so. I don't think that's going to happen. But I also don't think that you're just going to see Bitcoin have an 80% rally. This is the most bullish time that Bitcoin has ever experienced. For Bitcoin to only go to $150,000, that'd be about a double. That's realistic. That's extraordinarily realistic. There are billions of dollars of assets under management flowing into the exchange-traded funds every freaking day. Every single day. So where's the all-time high going to be? I think bare minimum 125K, but honestly, I'm looking more towards the 150 to 200 range at this point with the kind of exuberance we see. This is the real deal. I was telling you guys this back then. This was the warm-up. This was the warm-up. This rally over here, that was practice. You're over there doing your burpees and testing your mile time, guys. This is the NFL. This is it. This is the Super Bowl, guys. The next year is make it or break it. You're going to miss out if you fall asleep and sleep under a rock for the next year. The next year is game time. Let's get it. There's some money to be made here. Let's get after it. Put the work in. Get rid of the debt. Get a raise at work. Pick up 3 extra jobs. Don't forget you have a family. Love them too. Put some money in your investments. And by the way, if you invest in something and you're like, oh crap, I bought the top, be ready to hold it for 7 years and you will be fine, right? There are people that bought over here. Yeah, I remember that. You remember people that bought right there? They feel dumb. Well, if they had to just waited 5 years, they'd be fine, right? Because now they're up 30%, even if they bought the top. So if you're going to buy Bitcoin for this cycle and you're trying to trade it, you're going to buy them, and we'll sell in 4 months. Okay, well, just be happy if you bought the top. Just hold it for 5 years. You'll be okay. Get ready, guys. I would not be surprised if $100,000 is broken by Thanksgiving. In fact, I believe that before Turkey Day, Bitcoin will hit 100K. I mean, it's obvious that people are already getting stuffed, right? There's a big rally going on, and I don't want you to miss it. So what should we do? It's the same topic every stream. Yeah, that gets boring. We say that we talk about the same thing every day. Yeah, we do. We talk about the exact same thing every day. And that's why some of you guys don't watch the stream. That's why some of you guys love to watch the stream, because we talk about the same thing every day. Here's why, because it's important. We talk about two things. We talk about what the market's going to do, and then we talk about what we're going to do. Simple concept, right? Simple concept. Here's what the market's going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what the market's going to do. I believe that the market's going to go absolutely freaking nuts, and you're going to see trillions of dollars flow into the space. Guys, in the last week, we've seen $300 billion flow in. Jeb, you're crazy. Trillions, plural? Last week, $300 billion. $1 trillion ain't what it used to be. Right? Inflation happened. 100K now. I mean, Bitcoin had to hit 100K 5 years ago. We'd be at 130 now because the inflation was nuts. Tom Crown's in chat. What's up, Tom? You beat Bitcoin to 100K. Shout out to Tom Crown. Tom, you and I, we got to hurry up. We got to hurry up, man. This is like the race between PewDiePie and T-Series. Bitcoin's trying to catch us. We got to put the work in. Now, Tom's been putting the work in. He just went from 100K to 138K. Let's see if Bitcoin can do what Tom Crown did on his subscriber count. I remember helping him push his channel over 100K. Now it is, as far as he did the work, I just mentioned it once. I'm not trying to take any credit from him. But he hit 100K. Now he's 138. Make sure to go subscribe to Tom. Known him for years. Friend of mine. But yeah, hit over 100,000 subs. We got to see Bitcoin do that. I want to see a race between Tom Crown's subscriber count and between Bitcoin. That's what I want. Can we all get a one in chat for wanting to see Bitcoin and Tom Crown's subscriber count duke it out? Let's see it. Shout out to Tom Crown. Go subscribe. Yeah, go subscribe to Tom Crown to get his subscriber count up so Bitcoin can catch up with it. That'd be great. You can make us all a little bit of money. Thanks. All right. You got to think about Thanksgiving with your family. The topic of Bitcoin will be discussed. Yes, all of you guys are going to be... Tom Crown, the agnostic amphibian, just perfectly described you. They said, is that the nerd with the sunglasses? Yes, that's Tom Crown. Exactly. He's the nerd with the sunglasses. I'm the nerd with the regular glasses. That's the difference, right? He's the nerd with the sunglasses. Hey, I wear nerd as a... I love that term. I'm a self-proclaimed nerd. I got no problem with it. Tom, best background music. That's a compliment right there. Tom Crown's got the best background music. That's true, actually. Let's see. You're getting close to 200K followers, Tom Crown. Boom. Is a 500K Bitcoin in play this cycle? I don't think so. It could happen, but I don't think so. I don't think that Bitcoin's going to outperform its last bull cycle. I do think that absolute top would be in the 300 range. Could it happen? Yeah. Gensler needs to go and find a rock to crawl back under. Yeah. Poor guy. I just feel bad for him. He kind of bet his whole career on fighting against crypto, and he really just completely failed on that. It just did not work. Jeb, are you convinced again on ADA? I was never unconvinced on ADA. I just said that, I guess I was actually. I just needed it to convince me. My issue is that it is getting caught up in the hype right now. And so it's real easy to rally when everything else is rallying. My concern is that, for example, Solana, Bitcoin, several other altcoins, they're already above their previous bull market all-time highs. Cardano's doing phenomenally, but still got a long way to run. Let's see what happens. This is one thing that I've talked about for the last 3 years, and that was that Cardano did nothing until one day when it went from 35 cents, and a couple weeks later, it was at $2.30. That's just how Cardano moves. It just one day, it just puts a giant green lightsaber in. And that is largely what's been happening over the last month, right? Over the last, you can see right here, 39 cents, 93 cents. If you will remember, we made a lot of videos about that happening, and people laughed at us. We said, Cardano is going to go to $1.30. Jeb, you're nuts. You're nuts. What are you talking about? Well, now it's happening. Nobody wanted to listen. Go back like a year ago on the channel. In fact, I know the videos I'm talking about because I actually was just showing some of them to an editor that's probably going to start working for us. So I was actually just watching one of these videos yesterday because we were looking at it. We've got, for example, these videos. Cardano to 77 cents. Nobody wanted to listen. $8.30 Cardano. Nobody wanted to listen. Cardano at $11. Nobody wanted to listen. It can happen, right? It can happen. I very much believe in Cardano. I do need to see more adoption. I don't want to see it just rallying because everything else is rallying, in which case I would just rather buy the thing that's actually got the use case. So I'm still concerned about Cardano, but it doesn't surprise me at all that it's just one day, boom, 200% rally. That's not shocking a bit. We have a position on Cardano. It has maintained being our either third or fourth position, depending on how Solana's doing, because Solana's up there too. I haven't sold any of my Cardano. Love it. Very happy that I have it. So yeah, I'm excited. I want to see more, but I am excited. Good question. Good question. Let's read some chat. When should we take profits on BTC, Jeb? If you're me, never. I'm holding Cardano. I'm holding Bitcoin forever, which is what I've always done. If you want to take profits, though, what I would recommend is that you get. I actually just did this with someone in a coaching call on Wednesday. You've got to set a schedule, and on a certain interval, sell a certain percentage of the portfolio if the dollar value of Bitcoin is above a certain level. So you might say, if Bitcoin's above $100,000 but under $110,000, then I'm going to sell 1% of my portfolio every week. If Bitcoin is between $110,000 and $125,000, then I'm going to sell 2% of my portfolio every week. If Bitcoin is between $125,000 and $150,000, then I'm going to sell 4% of my portfolio every week. And so you ladder in and you sell more as you get closer to the top. That's how I would consider doing that. That's how I would consider doing that. Remember your election dump call? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Hey, Bring Facts, you know what? I was actually worried that Kamala was somehow, weirdly, going to be able to pull out the election. If she had won, I think we would be sitting at like $60,000 right now. That was the reason that was saying that. I did expect that if Trump won, that it was going to be a big movement, and that's what happened. I was quite surprised. He came out the gate like 5 million votes ahead, almost right at the beginning. I watched the entire election live. So that was that. It did surprise me how much of a sweep it was. It wasn't a full blown landslide, but it was one step before a full blown landslide. I mean, it was a very clear cut election. There was no room for like, oh, we need a recount. No, it wasn't a 2000 kind of election. It was very clear. For profit taking, sell all your altcoins and keep the Bitcoin. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing, is selling everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum, keeping my Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's been the plan for the last year and a half. Holy moly, Christmas began early this year, yeah? So you just DCA out of it the same way you got in, basically, except instead of selling a dollar amount every week, you sell a percentage. That's what I recommend. But of course, these are recommendations that you, the financial manager of your portfolio, should take into account. Remember, I'm not your financial advisor. You actually are, and the way that works is that you you are both the investment advisor for yourself, and you're also the client. So as the investment advisor, take what I'm saying and say, I like that or I don't like it, and then recommend it to the client, which is also you, right? I have to deal with this all the time as a business owner. I am both the employee of McAfee Media and the owner of McAfee Media. It's kind of like, you got two personnel? No, I'm the employee. I'm the W-2 employee who's sitting in this chair right now. And then as soon as I get off the stream, we go to work on, hiring people. I'm acting as the CEO and the owner of the company, right? You have different roles. You're playing as the role of the investment advisor, and you're also playing as the role of the investor. PJ Cornell donated $5, said the 0.21 Bitcoin makes you Bitcoin elite. If you hold that, you can have a speculative portfolio as well. Crypto Surge said, I'm worried about Sarah being okay. Is that her coughing? Yes, she's actually sitting right over here because she now works for the company full time. We've both got a cough, so it's all. She's. Is your cold as bad as mine? You want me to put you on stream? She's over here like, no, they're not supposed to know I'm here. Here, you want to talk? I'm putting her on the spot. She's all like cherry red. She's rosy over there like, oh my gosh, Jeff mentioned me on the stream. You okay? No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry for coughing. Are you okay? Okay, good. Awesome. Well, let's get a 1 in chat if you'd like to see Sarah on stream. She's like, no. Let's get a 1 in chat if you want to see Sarah on stream sometime. Hey, you already did the face reveal. You made your financial coaching. Links down below. Just saying. Sarah's got her financial coaching down below. None of you guys have signed up for it. I don't know. Maybe let's check it out. What do you think? Should they check it out? Yep, they should. That's right. All right. As far as is she doing okay? We both got a cold or the flu or whatever. We think we've got some progress on her health side of things, but we really just don't know yet. It's going to be a while before we really know. James Grover donated $5, said, what are the chances of Bitcoin top comes April or November of 2025? I think November is very much a time that I could see the top coming. April, I think, would be a little bit soon. There are people that think that there's going to be a more rapid cycle. Could that happen? Yes. Is that going to happen? I'm not really totally convinced. I think it's going to drag out a little bit longer than people think. Jeb, thoughts on rolling Bitcoin over to alts for 2025? It's a decent strategy, except it ignores the idea of holding Bitcoin for the long run. And here's the thing, guys. I have Bitcoin that I held. Like, I have Ethereum that I bought at less than $200. It's $3,400. I have Bitcoin that I bought at less than $5,000. I'm not touching. I'm not selling that. You couldn't pay me to sell it. I mean, literally, because I'm not going to sell it, right? I mean, that's a joke, right? But I'm not selling it. Can you do that? Yes, you can totally trade Bitcoin, cycle it into alts. It would make sense. It is a logical, sound strategy. But remember the emotional side of things. Remember, building a financial portfolio is not about building a financial portfolio. It's about building a life. 80% of finances is emotions and people. 20% of it's math. If you can do addition and subtraction, you can do just about everything you need for personal finance and basic investment. It's not that complicated on the math side of things. It's complicated on the people side of things. So are you going to be happy that you sold that Bitcoin and maybe made a little bit more profit in the alts? That's the question you got to ask. You can't just ask what's more profitable. You've also got to think about yourself, because that's what this is for you and the people around you. What decision are you going to be happiest with? And don't just think about that maybe the most dollars. That's why people go into debt, right? Because maybe you can make a few more bucks. You probably won't keep it though. But you've got to think about the people side of things too. One. Several ones in chat. So if Sarah is comfortable coming on stream, then she can be on stream. Obviously, she's always welcome on stream. But yeah. So if she's comfortable, then maybe we'll bring her on sometime. She's a little shy though. I don't know why. You're beautiful. Oh, yeah, you are. Don't get all humble. You know you're beautiful. All right. Let's read a little bit more chat, and then we're gonna wrap it out. Hey, real quick, before we keep going, why have you not done this yet? Like, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you hear me. Yeah, you're over there doing your work, and I'm in your ear, and you're like, man, you talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Why haven't you done this yet? Black Friday deal for NordVPN is here. Like, this is 75% off. NordVPN is gonna help keep you safe while you browse online. What's going on? Why haven't you done that? $91.53. I'm going to drill that number into your head. $91.53 for 28 months of NordVPN. I mean, come on. That is a steal and a half right there. 73% discount. On the basic plan over here, it's a 75% discount. You're not going to find this discount on NordVPN's website, because this is a discount specifically through us that you're only going to find by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb. By the way, you only got like a week left, because this is the early bird version of the Black Friday deal that's coming up soon. Again, you're still only going to get this deal, this good of a deal, through us. $91.53 through our page. So go to nordvpn.com/Jeb, sign up today, and stay safe while you browse online. If you don't want to get hacked, then do the right thing and put on your cloaking device. Brought to you by NordVPN. Someone's got to be the exit strategy. Yep, that's right. Try not to be somebody's exit strategy. Let's see. Let's read a little bit of chat here. True. September 2025 Bitcoin top. I could see it. It'd be a little earlier than I'm thinking, but I could see it. Oh, we got a bunch of chats coming in. I love it. Love to see it. Let's see if we can find some other chat to mention here. Gary got spanked in court and humiliated, forced to approve the ETFs. Yeah, pretty much. And now everybody that bought those ETFs is making a ton of money. Thank you, Gary Gensler, for bowing out and getting out of the way. Jeb is giving 100%. He doesn't feel well. How can you not love this man's heart? I am definitely, I'm definitely feeling better than I was on Monday. On Monday, man, it was rough. It was really rough. I got hit like a freight train, but I'm feeling a little bit better now. Still just very congested. I'm hearing my mind is working a lot better now. But these things hit my body a lot more than they hit my mind. But there are times when I get really, really, really sick, and it's just like, man, I can't barely even think straight. And those are the times that are sometimes particularly hard. All right. Let's see. Queen getting very vulnerable with us, saying Queen has daddy issues. Okay, Queen. Well, we'll be praying for you for that. Thank you for telling all of us. Johnny said, praying for your health, Jeb. Hang in there. Appreciate it, Johnny. All right. Now, as far as Bitcoin and everything, we're still sitting at $98,500. Doesn't look like a big breakout's going to happen live. If it does, then I will do my best to kind of horse commentate it, but I will tell you some closing analysis before we wrap it out here. Looks like Bitcoin's building an inverse head and shoulders pattern. I'm about to go shoot a video and explain that on a video. I think that a touch and a test of $100,000 may be coming as soon as this afternoon. So stay tuned, because a break above $100,000 could be on its way very, very soon. Make sure that if you have not already, begin building your portfolio here in the cryptocurrency space. And also remember to only invest what you can afford to lose. Ultimately, Bitcoin is very, very, very high above its bear market bottoms, which means you've missed most of the bull market to date, which means the risk is higher if you get in trying to trade this market. But if you're looking to buy Bitcoin and hold it for 5 to 7 years at least, you have a very high likelihood of making money. And I do think that you will be able to do that if you do so. So make sure to invest in your future by investing in something that you expect will grow in the long run. And also, if you have not already, make sure to invest in an account over at Uphold. Uphold is a phenomenal cryptocurrency exchange where you can build out all of the systems and architecture that you need to succeed in the cryptocurrency space. They're highly transparent, they're rapidly growing. They've got almost $5 billion under management now. Now they do, actually. Guys, a month ago, their assets in reserve was $2.5 billion. Now it's $5.5 billion. The amount of people that are investing and buying on Uphold has skyrocketed. People are going crazy for Uphold. So make sure to sign up. They've got a bunch of great features over here. This is the exchange that I'm recommending for you to build your home like your bank in crypto. They don't do fractional reserve lending. They have 100% reserve status. I just showed you that. But kind of like a bank, they've got all the different features that you need. They've got your high yield interest account. It's called USD interest. They've got the vault, right? It's called vault. It's where you can hold your Bitcoin. They've got all these different banking features without the bad side of banking, which is the fractional reserve lending. You know, you deposit $100, they lend out 85 cents of it, and then you risk a bank run, right? Uphold doesn't do that. They're not going to go down like FTX. They instead, though, are bringing all of those traditional features here into cryptocurrency, bridging DeFi and TradFi. It's a perfect place to set up your home in crypto. And then also, if you want to get involved in trading, on Uphold, you can trade, but that's not really what they're gearing themselves towards. The best place to go for really like leverage trading and whatnot is over here on Blowfin. If you guys have not already signed up, then you absolutely should. Go to our link in the description box down below and join the War of the Whales here. There's a huge trading competition going on right now, and there's about to be another $250,000 unlocked in the prize pool. Right now, the prize pool is $100K, split between teams based on the trading volume. When we hit $5 billion in trading volume, which will likely happen later on today, then another $250,000 of USDC will be opening up. So make sure to sign up today. Join our team. We've got over $20 million worth of trading volume that's happened so far. And some of you guys in here are already expected to earn hundreds of dollars. That will probably approach a couple $1,000s of rewards after we get some more of these trading volume milestones hit. I think we're definitely going to hit $10 billion USDT of trading volume, which means we're going to have another $500,000 of rewards coming out, which means instead of $600, we're probably looking at $3,500 to $4,000 being distributed amongst our team based on your trading volume. So go over here and trade on Blowfin. They've got all the exchange features that you need. They've got leverage trading. Be careful, but it's there. They've got all the exchange features you need for that in-depth trading. Make sure to check them out with the link in the description box down below. You can see all the markets here. Go to spot, Bitcoin. I'll kind of show you the way the market's set up here. Great interface. You know, you got your order books, you got your buy orders, you got your trade history, you got your depths, charts. You got your TradingView integrated charts here, so you can do your actual technical analysis live here with TradingView charts, so you don't have to click around. You got your drawing. You know, you can kind of come in here and do your charting. Phenomenal technical analysis here in the exchange. So make sure to sign up for all of those things down below. Blowfin, Uphold, and NordVPN. Very excited about all of them. Also, make sure to sign up for Lux Algo. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I really appreciate it. Lord bless you and keep you as you go today, and make wise decisions, because you will be thankful you did in the long run. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the coming week after we probably hit $100,000. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.